Oh, oh, hey, is somebody out there? Did I hear somebody out there? Can you hear me? Yeah, there was a I had a book slide and I'm trapped back here now. Um this is one of the hazards of working down here in the print mine. Fortunately, I also stumbled onto these glowing rocks, which are letting me see what's going on down here. But um, there's a small tunnel off to the side here. Hey, Gwen, are you around?
Yes, for once.
Yeah, Gwen, would you mind going down this tunnel over here and seeing if you can, if it's big enough for me to get all the way out somewhere safe?
It does
I
look
don't
a
think I'll be
little
able to shift all this
small.
rock.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
All right, thank you. Go check that out. Yeah, that's Gwen. That's a friendly ghost that lives down here. Well, I say lives down here. You know what I mean. But uh, yeah, this is like I say, is one of the hazards of the print mine. You're down here mining books for the Goodman Games store, and sometimes everything just gives away, and you're trapped under rubble. Um, I don't think Dieter's close enough to have heard anything, so I don't think he's coming. So I'm glad you're here. I wonder if Gwen's found anything yet. I hope.
It looks like you can come through here.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Gwen. So I think Dieter is in chamber 7. If you can make your way over there, I'm going to take this tunnel and see if I can find a way out and hopefully meet you there. All right, here I go. Audio's back. All
Oh,
right.
we're back. We're back, man. Yeah, those wandering silence spells, they suck.
They're just floating around down here.
Uh,
Yeah,
so,
I
what's
don't know
what's your
what people heard or not, but in any case, yeah. Yeah, what's new? What any good? I see you're at home now.
I'm
What's
at home.
happening
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Emogoth let me work from home this week. I'm
I'm
telecommuting, so
I'm down here in the caverns. I'm risking life and limb, and you are enjoying your cats at home.
I'm yes, I get to look. It looks a lot like Emogoth.
Oh, maybe it's a minion.
I'm
It's
sure
one
that
of his
I'm
representatives.
sure they're keeping tabs on me. So have you played anything lately?
Played in a game last night where we mostly hung out at a festival. We at the end we finally got the clues at the festival to take us to a tomb that we've been trying to find, and we got to the tomb and it was like, okay, we need to wrap here, and like, oh, okay, well,
Oh, so just when it was getting exciting.
yeah, just as
Yeah,
the giant vultures started to attack, that was where we had to cut off.
I understand. I started playing in a new online game last
Oh,
week. It is a not a DCC game. It is not a. It's a World of Darkness game.
okay,
Which,
like vampire and all that.
yeah, this one is Inferno, I think, where you're possessed by demons. So we'll see how it goes. It's
You know,
pretty. It's pretty dark.
yeah, I have never actually played any of those. They kind of came in a point in time where Uh, Nobody I knew at the time was into it, and we just
When
never dialed in
World of
on it.
Darkness is one of those things that people either seem to love or hate, but like most games, it's just who you play with, really.
Right. Yeah, it comes down to the crew you're with. That's true.
So I heard you found
Well,
some glowing rocks.
you want to talk about some books?
Oh, books, rocks. Yeah, we should do our job, I suppose.
Yeah, and maybe not. I don't know. They've lost a bunch of these weird things. They were mostly in these tubes.
Oh, glow dice. Cool.
There's a big ugly face on it.
Cool. Yeah,
Kind of a,
if only those were available somewhere that people could just buy them,
well,
right?
it's funny you should say that. As I go into my car
Because
salesman pitch.
shilling is our job.
They are available. They are currently available. Um, what are they? I can't read it.
Glow dice.
$35
$35.
for the
And
glow dice.
they really do glow in the dark. They're perfect for if you're, playing in the dark, I guess. I don't
And they come with a new spell
Ooh.
from
What is the name of that spell?
the new spell. What is the name of that spell? It is Hasten Doom.
Oh. I feel like our doom is probably coming pretty quickly already. I
That's
don't think
every
we don't
episode.
need to hasten it.
Every episode is hastening our doom, but that is a spell from Mr. Harley Stroh, who Emogoth destroyed last time.
Right. Poor Harley. He was a great guy.
His
He
ghost is
was. He
doing
was.
pretty well, though.
That's good. Maybe
Good.
we'll get his ghost on the show in a future episode.
Glad to hear that. Yeah.
So yeah, those dice, like the DCC dice, are pretty cool. But like for people who are new to DCC, especially, sometimes it's hard to tell them apart. Like the D14, the D12. Like if only there was some kind of easy system you can use at the table to like.
Yeah. Which are these? What can you tell? Do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It's hard to say.
Just confusion.
If only there was some kind of like tray you could put them on that would identify what's
What's
that?
that? Is this
That's
is this the sort of thing you had in mind where you have?
exactly. Gosh, it's almost like we planned this show.
It's almost like I can see what I'm doing. There. That's probably better. You can't see me, but you can see the tray.
Right. Most experienced DCC players can tell the dice apart, I think.
It's fine.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful if you're new to the game and have trouble. Like it just lays them out there.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
or if I mean, things are opening up a bit. If you've got a public game and people are new to it, you can set your dice out, and they can easily tell which dice is which, and which die they need to pick up when you say a 16 or a 24 or what have you. Um, and they're in multiple colors. I think. Did you wind up with the same color I
Yeah,
thought?
I got the same color you did.
You got green screen green.
Because it goes well with the glow in the dark dice.
That's true. That's true, actually. But there are like what, 14 different colors or 11 or 12 or
I
something?
don't even know.
I
There's a lot of
forgot to
different
look.
colors.
I forgot to look, but there are many colors. There's more than just three or four. There's about a dozen or so.
Quick, you distract the audience and I'll Google it.
Actually, I will take this opportunity to say last time we had Harley Stroh on, and I felt like I came down on Harley in the spirit of jest, but nonetheless a little too hard, and I wouldn't want to leave anyone who's new to DCC with the impression that what Harley does is not worthwhile. And in that vein, I want to bring up one of my absolute favorite adventures, which is Tower of the Black Pearl, which is had been unavailable, but then I don't know from where they came from. Maybe Dieter found this in one of the side chambers. A bunch of these were discovered in the warehouse somewhere, so they're available again. And it's a great adventure if you have a time limit, like it's a convention game, or you just have that one weekend when everyone's together and you just have this one chance to play. Because the adventure itself, it has an inherent time constraint built into it, so you can always lean into that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's a fun adventure because it has some potentially like world changing ramifications if you do
If
some
you want to
certain.
go that route, yeah, it's great for a one shot. It's also great as an early entry in a campaign if you want to like really campaign a strong and potentially kind of dark direction without any spoilers there. Yeah, there's potential for a lot out of this little adventure. And I've run it to demonstrate the versatility of DCC. It's a first level adventure. I have run it as a first level adventure. I have run it as a second level adventure with only minor tweaks. And I have also run it as a funnel a
Nice.
couple of times. So,
Nice.
I mean, and as a funnel, there's like one piece of it that, like, okay, this needs a tweak because it's going to come off very differently in a funnel context. And I don't want to spoil it, but it really like you could do it on the fly and just make adjustments
Yeah.
and run it for different levels.
And the Goodman Games historian in me wants to point out that the adventure was first published as a D&D 3.5 adventure in DCC number 29.
20, yeah, the adventure begins, right? Big
Yes,
hardcover.
yes, yes. Which also has an adventure by me.
Oh yeah. That's a book I missed when it came out. I
That's
believe I have the PDF of it, but
I think it's great. Not just because I have an adventure in it, but like we'll talk about that in a future episode. How about that?
how about that? Yeah, we could dig into things that you've had put out there. But anyway, I just wanted to mention Tower of the Black Pearl. It's a solid adventure. You can't go wrong.
By
Very
Harley Stroh,
versatile.
who is a
By
really
Harley
a
Stroh.
really a really great and creative person, despite what we might have said about him last time.
Was a
What?
really
Oh,
great. Yeah,
was
he's.
right. Ah,
That's the
anyway,
problem with this show is everybody gets destroyed, and then
everybody gets killed, and then they can't write anything
all the
else.
best people just shunk, they're gone.
Well, we're still here, so I guess that means we're not the best people.
You can
Correct.
say
And it
that
means
again.
we
Hey,
commentary from the peanut gallery. Um, which I guess I mean that just means we have to keep going, right?
I guess so. So hey, I found something cool.
Yeah, yeah.
A new Starcrawl supplement called Beyond the Flesh. So
Ooh, yeah.
this book is like I'm only passing familiar with the original Starcrawl. Like I got it and I looked through it, but I never really sat down and read the whole thing. But this book is cool. Um, it's all about cybernetics, using cybernetics in your Starcrawl campaign or your MCC crawl game or your DCC game, because it's got a section on magical powered cybernetics and things. Um, One of the things that you do when you create your cybernetics in this book is determine how it's powered, and there's some pretty cool ideas on magic powered cybernetics, like you have to drain people's souls to power your artificial arm and things like that. So like what I personally would probably never run a Starcrawl campaign, I would absolutely use this stuff in my DCC campaign.
I would love to play in a campaign or run a campaign where you could just mash all that together and you could do DCC in space and have spaceships with wizards on them and
Oh yeah, yeah,
all
like
that. So it sounds like a good fit for something like that.
so this was written by Jonathan Snodgrass and Dave Eight Cylinder, who I should tell you, you should never play Blood Bowl against them. They're good Blood Bowl players.
Oh,
They kicked my butt.
Blood Bowl.
Um,
Wow, I have not even heard Blood Bowl mentioned for I don't know how long.
so
That goes back.
right, so most of the book is the cybernetics rules. Then it goes into, there's a new class, the cyber doc, that is the character that installs your cybernetics and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Maybe it makes a better NPC class, I don't know, because a PC, if that's all you do, I don't know if that's that exciting. But then there's some vehicle pursuit rules. And then there's an adventure that kind of introduces cybernetics into your campaign called the Cybernetic Underbelly. It's a level 4 adventure, and it uses the previously talked about vehicle pursuit rules. So
Vehicle
just
pursuit rule. So that's, I mean, that's not a cybernetic thing. It's just an extra
that's
bonus.
yeah, that's just an extra bonus. That's not cybernetic specific. Um,
So that would be, would that be something that you could just port out into anything you wanted to
Oh yeah,
insert it
I'm
into?
sure you could. Yes, in fact, it includes its list of vehicles includes rickshaws and chariots and just being on horseback.
Ah, okay. There
So
we go.
yes, you can absolutely use it for other things. And that's the beautiful thing about this book is like I said, I would never run Starcrawl probably, but I will absolutely use almost all of this in a DCC campaign. So
Right, right,
it's
right.
very the rules are very versatile.
With your demon powered cyber arm or whatever.
Right, or for Michael Moorcock fans, you can do stuff like Korum's artificial hand, or
Oh,
Hawkmoon's jewel in his skull would probably be fall under this kind of rules. So
hmm.
it's pretty cool stuff.
No, that sounds good. So I found a little something,
Yeah.
not Starcrawl, but Killian's Crawl or Killian's
It's
Crawls.
still
I
crawls.
guess
Okay.
this is one in a series, and this is the Refugees of the Desolation. It's a funnel adventure. What do we got? About 16, 20 pages or so, 26 pages, I guess. And the premise is the valley in which your characters are living in is hit by this magical destruction from some kind of arcane incident gone wrong, where it levels a mountain and your valley is awash in destruction. And a big factor of, like, you're trying to get out of the valley, but there's actually actually I forget the name, but it's a tracker, endurance tracker. What was it called? Exposure worksheet. So there's like a process through playing the funnel of, like, have you found food, have you found water, and what things have you
Oh,
messed with that maybe you
so
shouldn't have,
so
and these kind of mount up and affect the
in case your
character.
funnels aren't deadly enough already, you've got
Well,
this. Yeah.
it's a nice variation on what makes a funnel deadly, instead of it just being
Right.
the usual traps and monsters. There's some of that, but then there's also this other factor of, like, is the punishment dealt out by the environment eliminating characters as well. And there's plenty of opportunities to find things to combat that and stave it off, but again, you have to be clever and find those things.
Right.
um that's a nice little adventure. I mean, it's $8, so
That's fairly
it's
cheap
not, not a
for a
bad price point.
DCC product these days. Yeah.
And it even comes with a I don't know how many there are on this page. Looks like about 20 pre-generated zero level characters. So really, just with this, you could get going and you're ready to start playing right away.
Fantastic. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, here is a fun little supplement called the Class Alphabet for DCC RPG. Um, Now, you remember the last episode we did the Leopard Women of Venus, and I said that that was my favorite third-party product of all time. But now I think the Class Alphabet is my favorite third-party product of all time because this book is cool. Like, for
Yeah,
if you don't
yeah,
know that the concept of the book is it is literally 26 new classes in alphabetical order A through Z, and
yep,
there's some of them are silly, some of them are serious, some of them are in between. Like there's something for every kind of campaign in this book.
yeah.
um
124 pages. There's stuff that's grim. There's stuff that's lighthearted. Um,
like
like,
I wonder though how you would use this book. Like if only someone here were an expert on how to use this book. Like if
how
they
to
wrote
use this
if
book. You, you, nobody like that would be around here. Nobody would be down here able to clue you in on that. That's absurd. But no, I'm particularly drawn to, like, the black cat
Black Cat I is a
and the
good one.
intelligent weapon.
the intelligent weapon is one of my favorites. Like it's literally you are playing an intelligent weapon who is being carried around by
Right,
like a
right.
mind controlled autonomous automaton human or whatever.
Well,
It's a
and
great
yeah, in a similar vein, there's the jockey, which I can never remember the name of, but it's the idea that you're a character riding around on a creature, and like that's your
right.
MO.
So one of my other favorites was the Goblin Gang, where you're
Yeah,
actually playing a small horde of goblins.
right, right, right.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some great stuff, and some of them, even though they're written like really serious or really silly, you can just reskin it, and it's super serious. Like the Tenacious
Oh yeah.
Defender. It's like if you're a Tenacious D fan, the whole class has Tenacious D jokes thrown in. Um, but if you just ignore all that fluff, it is a really good like warrior bard kind of class.
There's another one that's good.
Ninja vampire. There we go. Yes, like I this book is great, and it's $26, which is $1 per class.
Yeah,
Well
that's
worth
not
well
bad.
well worth the price, I think.
Hey, and it's got a cyber zombie, which maybe
Oh
could link
yeah, you
up
could
with
you could throw that in your Starcrawl game, right?
your Starcrawl with your cybernetics and such.
But yeah, some of the classes are fantasy themed, some are sci-fi themed, some are monster themed. Some of them are like the editor. The editor class is a fun one. It's meant to be silly. I think that the editor's power is basically you can change up to 3 words of the text in someone else's class, which which is just gives me fun ideas. Like
Yeah, no,
I'm sure people would find a way to break that real fast, but it would be fun.
it could be fun to do a campaign where you only use that book, and when everybody gets to pick one, you can't overlap or choose one that's already been done, and when your character gets bumped off, you go back in and you pick a different thing, so you cycle through the whole book.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, like the only class in here that I didn't really care for was the Quantum Wanderer. Like
That's
that one
not
was kind of
worthwhile. Don't
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just skip that one.
Joking.
The art's good, but the whole thing is.
uh, John wrote that class, by the way.
Thank you, thank you,
That's the
thank
joke.
you,
That's the joke,
thank you.
people. Let's see.
Based it on the cleric, if that's trivia that's worthwhile at all.
That's any trivia is worthwhile.
The structure of it was based on the cleric, that like disapproval mechanic, basically.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, and speaking of cleric, the zealot class I liked a lot. It
Oh
gives
yeah.
you a chance to play a religious fanatic who's maybe not quite tuned in enough to get spells from the god, but they still like
He thinks
yeah.
he's favored,
He
but
thinks
not. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
I really like that class a lot too. Uh, let's see.
Well, we just
That's
talked about 26 characters.
26 classes. Yeah,
What if we narrowed it down to just, I don't know, one?
one, one. What
Yeah,
one? What
one.
one?
I don't could be, I don't know, one of them, or I don't know, one of
One of
us.
one of us. One of us. That has a good ring to it. That has a good. Wait,
Sounds
is
That's
that?
like a thing, isn't it? Oh,
One of
your
us,
big feet.
one of us,
You
one
hearing the big
of us.
The
footfalls?
big. I think Emogoth's coming. Let's get out of here.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's get out.
Ah, welcome! I am Emogoth, the dragon. Aha. I have before me a sniveling worm. What is your name, worm?
My name is Tim Deshane. Nice
There
to meet you,
are
Emogoth.
there are some who call you Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about you. Who are you? What have you done?
Well, let's see. I am a road crew judge first and foremost, I guess, although the last couple of years have made that not a thing. I am a convention and tournament judge and contributor. And I wrote a DCC, well, co-wrote a DCC zine for Zine Quest a couple of years ago now. I've lost track of time again with COVID. Called One of Us. It's a
One of
circus
us.
sideshow themed post-apocalyptic Americana style
You
DCC game.
co-wrote.
Yes,
You couldn't write it yourself?
I could not. In fact, it was an idea that my friend, who's the other author, came up with for a small gaming convention, and I thought it rocked. So we
Well,
put it out.
tell us a little bit more about this carnival themed thing.
So One of Us is a game about a group of carnies that travels a post-apocalyptic dust bowl, looking for artifacts of the old world, which they collect for the madam, who is their patron. She's kind of like the behind-the-scenes chief executive of the circus. It's got a whole bunch of new classes. I say a whole bunch. I put 3 new classes in the first issue, and the old classes, your DCC classes, work alongside with them.
The first issue, you'll say. So there will be more.
There will be more eventually when I actually feel like putting work into it.
Are you preparing to create an actual dust apocalypse to unleash upon the world?
I'm not, because we're already headed that way. So what do I have to do? That's like less work for me.
Ah, very true. You are wise, worm. Well, you started this years ago, you said, and it was on Kickstarter.
Yes, it was the Zine Quest. I want to say, what year is it? 2019. It was funded, and we had everything written, and it just took me a long time to get it laid out. But fortunately, Matt Hildebrand saved the day, as everyone who's a DCC junkie probably knows. Big bald Matt, he's a wizard. Um,
A wizard.
I had
I eat
written.
wizards for breakfast.
I don't know if you can eat this wizard for breakfast because he's big and bald.
For lunch, then.
Um, yeah, and so we got a patron in there. We got some monsters, and if we have a second issue or more, we're gonna work on doing some kind of like
Adventures.
setting specific.
Ah,
If we do an adventure, it's gonna be more of a sandbox, like how to.
a
More.
sandbox of the Dust Bowl. Appropriate.
Yes, a dust box.
A dust box. How many of Stefan Pogue's ribs did you break to get him to do the cover?
2.
2. That's it.
I threatened a third, and he was like, "Please, I will just do this for you."
He works cheap.
So actually, that's the one good thing about having run so many games for the crew at places like Gen Con is having these guys as contacts. Like you make friends with them after a while, right? And to reach out and say, "Hey, can I commission you, for some art?" It doesn't feel as odd, right? If just reaching out to somebody.
Yes.
So yeah, Stefan was awesome. He went, like, all I had asked him for was a cover, and he made it a wraparound, and it's pretty rad. And we got some other great artists.
Was that a radiation joke?
It was. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, but it just works. So I'm going to agree with you. Yeah, it was. It was totally a radiation joke.
What's this Dust Bowl Carnival setting? What inspired it? What is the Appendix N of this setting?
I would say the Appendix N is both the show Carnival, the movie Freaks, maybe a little bit of Ray Bradbury, Something Wicked This Way. Yeah, that book. That one. That's
Yes.
Something Wicked book. That's pretty much the primary. And then notice my friend Joe, who was the co-author, was at one point pretty much a carny. He was like a barker.
Ah,
So he's got a little bit of experience. He's into that kind of stuff, and that was the game he ran. He did like a one shot at the little mini con that he had put together. So when it was time for Zine Quest, I was like, "Hey man, let's just do this because it's cool and it deserves to be in print." So
it
we did
is
it.
cool. You know, I ate a carnival once. It gave me indigestion.
What did you do to like alleviate that? Did dragons have like their version of Pepto Bismol?
Ah, yes, yes, yes. We have red slimes that live in the mines.
Does it make you breathe like hotter fire when you have upset stomach? Like how does that work?
Oh, no, 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 no. It's very it's. Well, I cannot tell you without going into the intricacies of dragon anatomy. That will take too long, because well, I find that what usually solves indigestion is eating someone. Ah! And there's another fabulous author destroyed.
Well, these things happen. I wanted to point out this is like the actual creepiest illustration that I think I've seen in a long while in any kind of gaming product, and that's in One of Us.
One of Us. Yeah, I
It's
like
like,
I like this book a lot too. Like there's a
yeah,
lot of stuff, like most stuff I look at it and I'm like, "Oh, I'll take that and put it in my regular DCC campaign and all that." But this one I'm like, I would actually like to run a One of Us campaign. Like
right,
it's a
yeah.
cool setting. It's a cool setting. I like it.
I was thinking it actually you could um what was it was the country meat grinders classic that we
Oh
covered
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
months back. Like you could fold that into this
Could
and
use
it would,
that, and you could probably take this into the Shutter Mountains or something too without
oh,
too much difficulty.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah, or borrow Shutter stuff and put it into the campaign of this.
yep,
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. It's bleak, but it's very colorful at the same time. So it's pretty awesome.
right. So One of Us available in the Goodman Games
I think
online store for $9.99. Everything we've talked about today is available on the Goodman Games store. We're required to say that because that's why we're here.
because it's a fact.
It's a fact. We
We
only
can
say
only
we only say facts on this show.
And don't forget your glow rocks. You might need that in the dust apocalypse.
Right. Anything else you need to say, John, before we get out of here?
Uh, not that I can think of. Are we're done? That's it.
I think we're done.
I
I think we're
I
done.
put in my good teeth for this. We're just gonna stop here.
Yeah. I mean, we can go out for
Okay.
barbecue or something.
Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah. Hey, you're on the outside. You could bring the barbecue back in, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll bring some barbecue with me next time.
Bring in, a couple of orders of ribs or something.
Sure. No problem, man.
Can you at least bring some hush puppies for me?
Hush puppies. Yes, of course.
All
The
right.
ghost. The ghost wants quiet things.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning
Yeah.
in.
Thanks, everyone.
See you
We'll
next
catch
time.
you next time. So long.